unbelievable. That is unbelievable, man.
Good evening and welcome to the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, Boondall, for Game 2 in the series between the Magic Johnson All-Stars and the Australian Boomers. The series began in Adelaide last night at the Clipsal Powerhouse, where a near-capacity crowd was delighted by a classy All-Stars performance. The Boomers started nervously, a little overawed by the occasion, and the All-Stars took full advantage, racing away to a 15-point lead, with Johnson weaving his magic, feeding his players, especially Mark Aguirre, plenty of ball. Eventually, the Boomers settled down, matching the scoring and even clawing back to within striking distance, but ultimately the lead was too great, and Magic kept the All-Stars' unbeaten record intact with the final scoreline All-Stars 113, Boomers 98. Now let's join our commentators, Phil Lynch and John Casey.
We understand they're going to start the same way as they did in the first game, and on the left the Australian Boomers, Blahoff, Reedy, who had a quiet night last night. Big John Dodge will start in the middle again. Mark Davis, who has an opportunity to clinch a place on the Australian team for Atlanta at the Olympics next year, comes in and plays his first couple of games for Australia, and Brett Maher will start at guard. But up against a team of absolute superstars. Irvin Magic Johnson will start at point guard, but this is a very interchangeable team. John Long, who was a star with the Detroit Pistons, where he won a championship. Mike Mckay, who was a teammate of Magic Johnson's with the Los Angeles Lakers and won 2 rings with the Lakers. Mark Aguirre, who did all the damage last night, formerly from the Detroit Pistons. He won 2 championships as well. And Lester Connor, who played with Golden State, but he's played with 5 NBA clubs. He had his best season with the New Jersey Nets in 1988-89. What a lineup that is. Magic to jump centre against John Dodge, as they did last night. Dodge jumped centre against Magic in each of the starts of the quarters, and Magic didn't even contest the tip because he knows Dodge can handle him in that area. I don't think he can handle him in some other places, though. We're going to see Dodge and Aguirre again go at it. Well, this is Dodge a long way from the hoop, and Aguirre backs right off, knows there's no danger out there. Interested to see what kind of start Australia can get off to. They're putting the ball through plenty of sets of hands tonight, not coming out running and gunning like they were last night. It really suited the All-Stars. But they do turn it over first time.
And well done, Brett Maher, stripping the ball from Lester Connor. He was thinking about the 2. He probably had it in his mind whether to slam or whether he was just going to roll it in, and then Brett Maher out of nowhere.
I think the Australians were so conscious of using the ball and taking some time off the clock on that first play and getting such a good feel of the ball that nobody was looking at the basket. Dumping on the inside to Lester Connor. There it comes out into the hands of John Long. Now watch these guys light up from the outside. We didn't see Magic shoot much from outside. That's a different kind of start tonight, John, because Aguirre hit his first shot last night.
I think he hit his first 6 or so. He just couldn't miss Mark Aguirre. But, well, the Boomers now have a chance to put the first score on the board, and that would give them a great boost because, as we said in the first game, it was 40-28 at quarter time, and the Boomers were down by as many as 17 and 18. And they certainly would like to be the first team on the scoreboard tonight.
The first man on the scoreboard is Lester Connor reaching in and making the foul. So the Australians very, very deliberate. That's particularly noticeable here tonight, that they're going to make them play some defense. Good drive down the middle, and Mark Davis would have loved to have finished that off. In fact, he had it open at the finish, but he will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Has been one of the outstanding imports into this country, Mark Davis, the chairman of the boards, they call him, from the Adelaide 36ers, a championship winner in '86, and it was such a tragedy during the NBL finals last season where he was injured, and that certainly did influence the outcome. Of course, the North Melbourne Giants getting home to win the title.
And Mark Davis has his own mini battle going on within this squad because the team will change over the 5 games. The same team here as last night, but Mark Davis will battle with Scott Fisher to try and make an impression for an import spot. Blahoff cleans up the rebound and gives Australia the lead.
John Long has been standing there for about an hour and still couldn't get it. The Boomers come up with the ball.
Barr walking the ball up before that time, making sure he's careful with it. John Dodge, way out on the end of his range, is not able to make the shot. Magic handling the ball, and a reach-in foul will go against Brett Maher reaching in. He had some help from Andrew Blahoff, but it was Maher's foul.
I hope that's not a bad omen there for Brett Maher, because he did start off a little bit nervously, a bit tentative in the first game, and needs a big game here. He is a very good talent and one of the future stars of Australian basketball.
Magic not able to run that one down on the sideline. They really doubled down and put some pressure on him underneath as he tried to make that move to the hoop. And this is a lot better start from the Boomers. I think after 2 minutes last night, they were probably down about 8 or 9-0.
And was shell-shocked. Here's Davis again. Very strong. Pulled down 8 boards last night.
And Mike Mckay and John Dodge getting into a little tangle. I don't think there'll be a foul called here. I think Billy Mildenhall is just coming in to settle things down. Australia will get the ball back from the side without a foul being called. It's Mildenhall wanted to nip that kind of thing in the bud early.
I asked Andrew Blahoff about that last evening, the push and shove that went on. He said it was just a welcome to Australia.
Here's Dorji trying to put some pressure on Aguirre underneath, and that is a good sign because they've gone to Dorje, and Aguirre, with his lack of size, Aguirre is only about 6'5", 6'6", handing a 6'11" centre, and there he is, just couldn't quite handle it, whacking him across the arm.
He's very strong, very physical, Mark Aguirre, and of course John Dorje, no stranger to Boondall, having played here for quite some time himself.
Bad turnover there by the Aussies. Connor is so quick in the backcourt. Magic looking to take on Andrew Blahoff, takes him on and scores, draws the foul as well, and Magic will go to the strike.
Well, Blahoff has been given the job as he was last night. He told us what a big thrill it was for him the first trip down the floor in the opening game of the series to stand there and try and guard the Magic Man himself. He's got the job again here, and he's certainly going to be in for a very, very busy night.
That was a pretty good indication of the kind of moves that Magic has. He took it at him, backed him up, and then made the wheel. And, of course, that perfect free throw shooting action, even when it misses, he will get the wobble and make the basket.
They are a very professional outfit, the All-Stars. We saw them here a little bit earlier running set plays. They spent a lot of time on the court. They are taking this very seriously. Blahoff
couldn't make it fit, Andrew Blahoff, and you'll see him shoot a lot more of the three in this game than he does for his club, the Perth Wildcats. Stripping the ball off Magic Johnson that time. We've got a 2-on-2 as Brett Maher pulls it up and sticks it.
Well, what a change we're seeing here. Brett Maher is on fire. Magic, we haven't seen this before.
He shot 1-3 right in the last couple of seconds last night. Didn't make it, but he is one of the outstanding three-point shooters in the world.
The Boomers lead at 12-7 and are prepared to be a little bit more patient in Game 2, a sign we didn't see much of in Game 1. Maher goes inside to Davis, the turnaround jumper again, it's good!
The Australians have numbers up the floor if they can find the open man. 4-on-3, Blahoff dumps it out that time to Maher. Now we're going to play some 5-on-5 basketball. See if they go to Blakemore, but he's got Magic guarding him.
Well, Davis has 8 points. He could be the man. Has been in white-hot form in the opening minutes here from Boondall. He wants 3.
And got them 18, 19 points to 9 now. The Australians lead it. And the Australians have the ball through Patrick Reedy. They've got 4-on-2. See if they can finish this off. The shot goes up from Ricky Grace and in. Quick reply, though, from Mark Aguirre.
He'll do that all night, working very hard, Mark Aguirre. The Boomers lead it by 7 as Davis lights up, misses his first shot.
Now let's see if Australia can make a stop here because there's 40 seconds left on the clock in the quarter. They'll try and make a stop so they can get another opportunity to score at the other end.
The averages are, let him shoot, and again Aguirre comes up empty. The Boomers are running. Blahoff dishes to Mckay, not a good pass. They've turned it over, and look out here.
Exactly
Here's
what they
Magic.
didn't want.
To Farmer, great move.
Jim Farmer finishes off that fast break as well as anybody on this team. He loves to get out on the wing and run the break, put it in his hands. He will very rarely miss underneath.
Grace has it. 5 seconds to go in the first quarter and counting. They're not going to get a shot away.
Another turnover. Farmer can score again, but the clock's beat him. That will not count after the clock went off. So 29-25, a great start for the Boomers in the first quarter. They lead it by 4. And Australia gets possession.
Blakemore for 2. Doesn't fall, and Eaton has the ball for the All-Stars. A score here, and the All-Stars will hit the lead.
The quick way their guards run down the ball, the loose ball, the long rebound, they are the quickest to it.
Strong defense needed here. You can't stop that. Magic misses.
You have to depend on a miss from Magic. You have to put as much pressure on as you can. And Andrew Vlahoff, remember, playing with 3 fouls trying to guard him at the moment. Just went up and tried to get good body position and then pray for the miss.
Well, the Boomers need a score. 9:50 remaining, term 2. They lead it by 1. Grace shoots and misses, but comes up with the educated steal to Vlahoff.
Jump hook from Andrew Vlahoff.
It's on!
And
well,
Chris
Blakemore. And the benches are clearing here. The All-Stars are all coming down. It was Blakemore, a push and a shove. Mike Mckay has him behind the baseline trying to settle him down. The 236ers have a chat about it. Let's watch it in replay.
Here. You see Blakemore underneath, put the body on, and the body went on, I think it was
It looks like Marchell Henry. It looks like Marchell Henry, who came in with what appeared to be a high, yes. Well, in game 1, it got very willing and was held up, but whoa.
Andrew Vlahoff was very quick to grab Jim Farmer in the peacemaker role.
Very, very interesting opening here. The Boomers lead it by 1, and the All-Stars just slightly ruffled it. It's been a very physical encounter. Both sides have collected 9 fouls apiece. Going to work again on Marchell Henry. They're at it again inside the paint. He's got the ball. He'll shoot this for sure. And gets it!
Now that takes some cool from young Blakemore, because he didn't. He had a head full of steam before the timeout, and often you can get a little bit too pumped and pump the shot up a bit hard. But that was a tough shot, the little jump hook, but shot it with plenty of finesse. And that will be a foul coming in on Mike Mckay. They come in to try and double team Magic, and that's the problem that was caused last night, and they're having the same problems tonight in trying to double team Magic. And all they can do is foul him because he is exceptionally strong.
I think Magic's expression said it all. He has been fouled quite a number of times here in game 2. Doesn't appreciate the attention, but when you're that good, you're going to have to expect you're going to get a fair bit.
Farmer down the middle. He's been great since he's come in. But the Australians now with 3 team fouls after 3 minutes in the second quarter. And you'd expect they will get into that 4-foul count and send the US team to the line a little. And again, have the same problems they did in the first quarter. The Aussies lead it by 1. Love to see Patrick Reedy light up.
Mckay for 3. Yes!
Just a 2. 36 plays 33. And the little fadeaway there that goes for Michael Eaton. Haven't seen him score a lot in the series last night, but the way he took that shot and shoots that fadeaway, a turnover by the Aussies.
Magic has the rebound. Running will go all the way you would expect. It won't go, but you get the rebound and put it in anyway. Well, again, they've messed it up. And here's Magic all the way.
Oh, look at the move that he put on at half court. Now the Australians come up on defense to try and put some pressure on up the floor, and Mark Davis taking over on Magic. That's an interesting matchup.
Well, Mark Davis, one of the veterans. Here's Aguirre. Yes.
Talk about the man, and on he comes and fires one off and gives the All-Stars the lead at 41-40.
Brett Maher setting it up now for the Boomers. He goes to Dorge, who looks inside. Davis cuts, it goes out to Vlahoff. Quick hands to Maher. They want to go to Dorge. He wants it. Wrestling with Mark Aguirre. He's got it now. Maher will shoot. It's in!
Well picked out by John Dorge to find Maher outside when Lester Connor went into double team on Dorge, and he found the open man. Mark Aguirre and Dorge again.
Aguirre takes it at him. Off-balance shot. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Vlahoff picks up the ball, goes to Mckay. The Boomers looking good. Mckay stops, thought about taking the shot, goes to Dorge. It's a far more relaxed. They certainly are being more patient here. Although off the ball, John Dorge and Mark Aguirre were at it again.
And Mckay having plenty to say to the referee out there. Not that time for Brett Maher, but George again muscling his way up underneath. Just couldn't make it against too many white shirts.
It is very physical, as you can see. We don't have to tell you that. Aguirre chatting with the ref. Magic will go, looks for the...
The reach round from behind. Mark Davis reached in and got a piece of Magic's arm from behind. Again, we'll put Magic at the strike. Now that's 3 fouls for Mark Davis, and both teams in the 4-foul count right now. So they've used up 3 from Blahoff and 3 fouls from Mark Davis now, just in trying to guard Magic Johnson. He's 8 of 10 off the strike. And 18 points, so he's going to finish up with plenty at the end of the night. 43 points apiece inside 4 minutes out from half-time.
Here's Davis, been quiet of late after a great start. Barrels his way into Magic Johnson, comes up empty.
That's generally Mark Davis' stock in trade. 3-point ball from the Magic man. And we're talking about the NBA line. He was a good 3 or 4 feet outside the NBL circle, well outside the NBA line for that one. And it's a 3-point lead on that shot from Magic to his team.
Well, he is playing inspired basketball here this evening. Magic Johnson has 22 points already, and we're still 1:45 away from half-time. Blahoff works hard, dishes out to Maher, who wants 3. No joy there. Reese battles hard for it. It's to Long to Eaton, 2 points.
And they've pinched a 5-point break. That's their biggest lead of the ball game. A minute and a half out from half-time with Paul Reese in there to replace John Dorge.
The Boomers need a good shot away here. They have remained static, and it has been all Magic and the All-Stars in the last 60 seconds. 1:10 remaining till half-time. 9 on the shot clock. Maher to Grace. They need to get it up and get it quick. Picked his pocket. He's got it back. No. They're running again.
Poor old Brett Maher. And Brett Maher did a terrific job on defence by holding his ground that time and forced Lester Connor to make a bad pass, and the defence coming back helped it out over the end line.
Here's Mark Aguirre. Has been in everything so far. Gets it inside to Magic, who is fouled.
Well, they had 3 men down on him that time and still couldn't stop him. They had Mark Davis around fronting him. 2 men came from the help out from behind. Here's Davis in front. The ball bobbled round in the air. The other 2 players came, and finally he was fouled.
Magic Johnson, 22 points, 9 rebounds. What a night he is having. His side, the unbeaten record that he's so much told us about in our press conference. They want to protect it. It's now to 35-0.
Missing again off the free throw line. This is a very dangerous period right here for Australia. Coming down, 45 seconds left in the quarter. They want to try and make a shot at least. Ricky Grace does that. Now let's see if they can stop at the other end. 4-point game. Got a hand on that one and a save from Ricky Grace. So 2 terrific plays from Grace. They get the last possession and they've got it back inside the 30 count. Ricky Grace got the thumbs down play. There's the clock on your screen, the time remaining in the half, and Australia looking for that one shot to try and edge a couple of points closer. They're down by 4. They want to trim that lead before the halftime break.
Just 28 years of age, Ricky Grace, with 2 NBL titles to his name. He goes to Blahoff, his Perth teammate, who can't come up with it. That will be it. And at half-time, it is the All-Stars by 4.
53-49 to the Magic Johnson All-Stars. Half-time here at the Boondall Entertainment Centre.
0 minus 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Do it again!
Friday night on SBS, Magic Johnson and his All-Stars have arrived down under. The legends of basketball are set to clash with Australia. Will the skill and enthusiasm of the Australians be enough to conquer the size, speed and experience of the Americans? Basketball at its best. Australia meets Magic Johnson and his All-Stars. Direct from the Melbourne Tennis Centre, Friday night, exclusive to SBS.
In the next few weeks, the troubled national shipping line, ANL, might fall to a foreign buyer, fueling union fears that standards could drop.
You'll end up with more pollution, you'll end up with more accidents, marine accidents, and the ultimate person who pays the price is the taxpayer.
And Transport Minister Laurie Brereton's political rivals are waiting on a Senate inquiry.
What we're concerned about is, did the Minister behave properly in the handling of the process?
That's Dateline Saturday.
Someday, when I get a big promotion, I'm going to use some of the money I earn to do some good in this world.
Someday. It's a wonderful thought. But for children born into poverty, few of us can ever imagine someday won't be soon enough. Fortunately, there are many people in this world who didn't wait to help. Instead, they called the number on the screen to sponsor a child through Christian Children's Fund. Please write the number down while I introduce you to Jeddah.
Life is extremely difficult in the dry bush country where Jeddah lives. The family has a hut, some goats, but very little else. Yet thanks to the $30 a month his sponsor sends to CCF, Jeddah is able to attend school near his home. He also receives basic medical care and nutritious meals.
This young man's sponsor is not a wealthy person. She simply saw a need and responded.
Call now and we'll send a photo and story of a child whose life you can change for just $30 a month.
On Monday, the start of a three-part series celebrating the work of the late veterinary surgeon, Dr. Barclay Hastings, and his efforts to raise wildlife welfare and awareness around the world. We follow him to Whipsnade Zoo in England, where he invited 4 young vets from various countries to train with him and learn the skills they'll need to help preserve their own country's wildlife. Vets in the Wild starts Monday at 7:30 on SBS.
Welcome back to Boondall. A quick reminder to tune in to the Boomers All-Stars game this Friday night on SBS for a chance to win one of 20 Magic Johnson prize packs. Now let's join our commentators, Phil Lynch and John Casey.
Magic again will jump against John Dodge, who's been rested fairly well in that first half. Expect to see a lot of Dodge if he can stay out of foul trouble in the second half. Patrick Reedy and Andrew Blahoff starting, so they're starting with the same 5 as they did in game 1 last night. Reedy in there in place of Mckay, the starting 5 tonight. But not good defence there from Reedy. He left the baseline open, dependent on the help from the other side. And they're able to stop the layup with Jim Farmer.
The Boomers would dearly love to get away to a good start here in the third quarter. They're down by 4 and need a bucket. Led for the majority of the first half, now find themselves trailing as John Dawes turns around.
Too long on the paint from John Dawes. He was there a long time waiting for the ball, and the referee let him stand there a long time, but as soon as he received it, that meant he was taking part in the play. The referee, rightly, Steve Bignell, said that's too long in there.
Here's the Magic Man taking on Mark Davis as he heads toward the hoop. They isolate him. He can't get the pass away, and the Boomers are running. This is Pat Reedy.
4 on 3, now 5 on 4 if Reedy dumps off to Davis. And idea of the lack of confidence that Reedy's got at the moment, because he should have made the layup that time. Magic, who hadn't even joined his teammates up floor, cherry picking at the other end, grabs a 2 and a 6-point break. Can't afford to let the Magic Johnson All-Stars score this trip down the floor, because they can take it out to a double-figure lead. Then it becomes tough to reel in. Maguire shifted quickly to long there.
In the corner, 3 points. Magic and Mike Mckay. Well, Mike would be loving this, the Adelaide 36er. He's wrestled the ball away from Magic.
They fouled him on that one, and Magic Johnson had some problems. Dawes gets the dunk at the other end, but a very bemused-looking Magic Johnson at the other, because they scrambled all over him.
Here's Mark. Goes to Blahoff. Good move.
Very, very strong move from Andrew Blahoff. They spread the ball well, spread the floor well, brought the defence out, opened up something for Blahoff, and the difference was that he took that ball strongly.
Well, the Boomers really do need to work on defence here. They need a stop and then a trip down the floor successfully would be a great help. Henry stripped of the ball. Good work. Here's Ricky Grace. Finds Blahoff. And 2 more to the skipper. They go to the low post. Here's Magic wrestling with Blakemore again. He goes straight through and scores!
Australia's problem right now is to keep this game as close as they can, but not turning it over. Have them coming back the other way. Here's Magic again, dumping off that time into the hands of Michael Eaton. Magic down the low hole against Paul Rees. This will be a test. Too big a test for Paul Rees. Give it to me every time, he says, when they really need a basket. I mean, he put it off into the hands of Eaton to invite Eaton to take the shot, but the pass back from Eaton found him underneath the hoop. And just way too strong and way too experienced for Paul Rees. So the score had gotten back to 5. It's out to 10 again. And Magic again missing off the line.
This is Pat Reedy. Uses Ma. Grace wants it. Ma obliges. They go to Blakemore, who isn't afraid to shoot from there. No joy. Lester Connors got it. They're away. Here's Eaton. Mckay. The 2. He's fouled.
Ricky Grace again. So again, that transition basketball. They just haven't got the quicks to come back and stop that play. Mckay coming at Grace. And you just see not enough players back to stop the ball. Importantly, they want to try and stop the ball at half court first, but with a roll on in that fashion, not able to do that. And of course, Mckay taking it right to the hoop and almost impossible to stop. The only way you can stop is the way that Ricky Grace did then with a foul.
And Mckay scores his first point for the evening, but misses on the second. Here's Brett Maher. They're down by 13 points, 55 seconds remaining. And a foul off the ball. Michael Eaton will wear that one.
Interesting to look at the foul board. There's been 6 fouls called against Australia in this quarter with 51 seconds to go in the quarter. That's the first against the Magic Johnson All-Stars.
The Boomers certainly with some worries. Here's Ma.
Blakemore one off the glass, but just cannot get it to fall.
Well, Marchell Henry can't find the handle. Eventually dishes to Magic, and will we see a show? A mismatch against Ma. And do you believe it? He's missed. Magic can't believe it. Ricky Grace for 2.
Paul Rees trying to stick back, and they really needed that basket badly then, because that's got back to 11-point break. Let's see if they use the clock this time. 17 seconds left out from half-time. Mike Mckay didn't look at the basket, so they're going to try and take some time off, perhaps. Henry down the middle, though. And Australia with a chance to score before the three-quarter time break.
Ma has Grace free. He goes. Grace stops, props. It won't go in. Ma has the rebound.
And count the basket. Got it off before the hooter went. And Australia really needed that badly to make it a 9-point scoreline going into the final quarter. There's the scoreline we'll take into that break, 80-71.
First possession very important here for the Boomers. They need to get the first score and cut this lead.
Interesting lineup that Magic has come out with for the final quarter. He's starting Joe Small and Michael Eaton in the backcourt, and he's also brought in the big man Patrick Eddy, getting his first minutes in the game in the final quarter. Mike Mckay and Magic are the remaining members of the 5. Magic, who's played all the way, and Eddy lucky to get that because it came off a Boomer's hand, but a great start for the big man at the start of the final quarter. 82 plays 71.
The Boomers in trouble. Here's Mark Davis.
Australia coming back with Davis and Blahoff. Paul Rees in the middle.
Here's the skipper. No joy there. He's turned it over to Eaton. And good hands from Ricky Grace. He takes the ball back. Here's Blahoff. Goes to the hoop. Is fouled. Gets 2.
And fouled on the way by Patrick Eddy. Just too quick for Eddy, Andrew Blahoff, but Australia lucky to get out of that situation because it was Blahoff who made the mistake at the other end to send the All-Stars one way. Just the quick hands of Ricky Grace got it back into the hands here of Blahoff, and too quick for Patrick Eddy.
He's a big man, Patrick Eddy, 6'11", and was all over Andrew Blahoff.
Friendly roll brings it back to 8 points. Now Australia have got a sniff here. They've got to try and stop this ball coming back at them too quickly.
Here's Patrick Eddy, 6'11", misses once, but not a second time.
Paul Rees got pretty good position, but he was bumped out of the way on the shot and was left on the floor, so Eddy was able to go back with the stick back.
Davis guarded by Mckay. Former Lakers teammate of Magic. Pump fake. Oh, he's dished it out, and they've come up with the ball again. This is... He'll go and score one-on-one with Ma. 2 points.
Oh, too tough. Too quick, the ball coming back. It's the problem Australia's faced all night, and they haven't been able to handle it at all. A transition play. Just look at the numbers down the floor. 86 plays 74. And we've got timeout called by Barry Barnes after a minute and a half of the quarter. An indication that Barry can see that 12-point break. And I'm sure the subject of this timeout right here will be transition. Now, of course, the transition problems are also caused by the shots that Australia's taking at the other end. There's the kind of layup they've had coming back at them. But that's caused back at the other end because often they're taking a shot that hasn't been particularly a bad shot, but it's sometimes come from a position that the rest of the players aren't ready for it. And they're not heading to the offensive boards to try and get that second effort. So the ball is dragged down by the Magic Johnson All-Stars and comes back at them way too quickly with players out of position.
We saw it in the first game, Phil, and we're seeing it here again this evening, that the transition, as you say, is causing lots of problems. What can the Aussies do about that?
Well, they've got to spread the floor a little bit better and take shots that perhaps the guy who's taking the shot, the other 4 players have got to know it's going up. And that means taking shots that come from set offense. They've got to settle down and play a number of set offenses here, and they've got plenty in their armoury. But the problem we were talking to Shane Hill about at half-time, this is a group that hasn't played a lot together. So they haven't got that second-guess situation when you know when a player's going to shoot the ball.
Well, you can't help but be impressed by the Magic Johnson Touring All-Stars. They are poetry in motion.
John Dodge back in the game. He's taken out Paul Rees. So I reckon this is probably the best 5 that Barry Barnes can put in there, even though he's got the 2 small guards in Ma and Grace, because he's not getting anything from Patrick Reedy. Ricky Grace penetrates down the middle and knifes down in Kevin Johnson style. Kevin Johnson, the great NBA star we saw with the Dream Team in Toronto. Ricky Grace is very much that kind of player. Perhaps not quite in the same league, but that's the way that Ricky Grace plays it.
As we mentioned, is fighting for a spot against Shane Hill. Wasn't expected to suit up here until Shane Hill withdrew because of the measles. Is a big crowd favourite in Perth and just a fantastic guy.
10-point ball game. Look at the defensive assignments. It's Vlahoff back on Magic. He's the man.
They come up with a steal.
Oh, Ricky Grace just had that ball batted out of there. And it was done by the big man, Patrick Eddy. Outstanding block. Have a look at Eddy. Join in from behind. He's, apart from being 6'11", he's got some hops as well. And great timing on that play.
Here's Vlahoff. It's short. Dodge is beaten for the ball by Eddy again, having an impact. Great move. Joe Small is fouled on his way to the hoop and will go to the line.
And I think they've called the foul against Brett Maher. Ricky Grace got a good hand on it from behind, but Brett Maher must have grabbed the arm on the way through. And that time, well, they partway stopped the transition, but Joe Small with a bit of a nod and a wink. As you see, he hasn't done much in the scoring line, but he's certainly done some good jobs in the back court. Stripped the ball a couple of times at the Australian guard, and we're back out to that double-figure break again.
And what a thrill this is for Joe Small, his rookie tour with the All-Stars, a chance to play alongside some of the NBA greats, including Magic, and no doubt love it.
Interesting move here from coach Barry Barnes, because he's brought in Brett Wheeler to play alongside John Dodge to get 2 big men out there.
Grace for 3, it won't go. Eddie comes up with a rebound. Magic looking, orchestrating something down the court. He's going to the hoop. 2 points!
He can take it any way he likes. There is nobody out there on the floor who can stop Magic Johnson. Even in, well, what could be described as his twilight years as a basketball player.
32 points to the Magic Man. And has been sensational.
Patrick Eddy called for the foul that time, and interesting to see that foul called too, because it just looked like a straight-out tussle between the big men. Not a lot in it.
Ma does well.
Very well to make that catch.
And sinks the 2 points. It's down to a 12-point ball game.
Brett Maher in double figures. He has 13. See if they can stop the Magic Man. There's plenty others in the armoury though. That time nothing for Michael Eaton.
This is Vlahoff. Grace is free, uses him.
McDodge the target inside to work against Eddy. Good move from Big John Dodge. Muscle straight up over the top of Patrick Eddy. Took it right up in his face, and that can be the toughest shot to block. Magic calls the timeout this time. 10-point ball game, so he's still 10 points in control. But maybe he might be just taking a breather himself. You know, he's played, well, 40 minutes himself. And the legs would be getting a little tired. He might be just a little bit gassed. And rather than go and take a break on the bench, call a timeout. Have a look at this last move from John Dodge. Took it right up into the face of Patrick Eddy. And how tough that shot is to block. You can often block it from the side, or you've got a man coming at you, you can block it, but not when they're right in your face.
Had a quiet game in game 1, John Dodge. 12 minutes was all that he was given, but shot 100% for 6 points.
Yeah, looking through some of the scorers, Mark Davis is still the high man for Australia. He's on the bench right now, but he has 17. John Dodge with 14, Brett Maher 13, Ricky Grace and Andrew Vlahoff with 10. They're the double-figure scorers. But for the All-Stars, Magic Johnson with 32, John Long with 15 and Jim Farmer 11. And when Magic says they can come at you in so many ways, tonight they're coming at you his way. He's 10 of 17 from the field for 59%, 11 of 16 off the free throw line, which is low for him, 69%. But he's grabbed 12 rebounds, thrown 5 assists, so having a pretty nice night at the office.
And the action continues. The tour goes on. Game 3 in Melbourne, live on Friday night. The Sydney Entertainment Centre hosts Game 4 on Saturday evening. And we wind up in Perth on Monday.
Now he's brought back Lester Connor, Jim Farmer and Mark Aguirre. And Farmer didn't know that pass was coming at all. Spilled it out over the sideline, and a turnover, which is a nice break for the Australians here.
Just what the Boomers needed. They trail by 10, 8:38 remaining in the game. A score here is vital. Wheeler inbounds to his 36er teammate Ma, who goes to Grace. Now, this is Wheeler.
Playing with Dodge down low. They'll try and make Dodge, I think, the target on the inside, but you've got Wheeler on the other side for the scraps. No scraps for Australia that time. They fell Jim Farmer's way. And again, the All-Stars are off and running. Magic with a long three that falls out. He was trying to put a real gap in the score there. 10-point ball game.
And had the entire crowd riding the shot, supporting him. This is Wheeler. Ma to Vlahoff. Low post. Dodge is free. Doesn't get the ball. Ma stops. Goes to Wheeler, who puts it up. All air. Jim Farmer has the ball. Not the shot they wanted.
That was a nervous shot there from Brett Wheeler. His first shot of the ball game. And it can be tough when it opens up. You're not expecting it to. And he missed that one by a long chalk.
Haven't seen much of Mark Aguirre tonight. He feeds Lester Connor, who goes to Magic. Here's Jim Farmer. Goes to the hoop. It's charging foul. Offensive. Ricky Grace comes up with a smart play again. And again, the Boomers get a chance.
I thought this was a tough... Have a look at see where Ricky Grace was in relation to the ring, and I reckon he was only about a metre out from the hoop. Now, a lot of referees will let that go and say, play on. players underneath the hoop as Ricky Grace was then. Well, not quite underneath, but he's only about a metre out.
Blahoff has the ball for the Boomers. They need to score this trip down the floor. Grace.
Really cut off at the pass there by Joe Small.
When they need to defend, they turn it up a notch, the All-Stars. They're doing it right now. Ma is free, goes for 3 points. Yes!
Good heads-up play there from John Dodge to find Brett Maher outside the circle. He had plenty of time to spot up and take the shot. 7-point ball game, 7 minutes to go.
Ma has 16. Magic. Will he go on with it? Here's Aguirre, being quiet. Steps out, steps back for 3. No. Ricky Grace has the rebound.
Just haven't found it tonight, Mark Aguirre, in the same way that he did in Adelaide last night, and has shot poorly from outside the circle. 1 of 6 from outside the 3-point line.
Could build a small house with them, so many bricks he's thrown up tonight. Here's Dodge for 2.
Australia just couldn't make 2 in a row. So still that gap is 7 points. And now they've got to call upon their defensive resources again. You can only do this so often against a team of this calibre. Magic with that baseball pass outside the circle, but they can't hit the threes.
Well, the Boomers really need to make them pay. They need to score this trip up. Grace will take them on, draws the foul. It won't go. He will go to the line.
And Ricky Grace looked round and just hoping that one would fall for him to make a 3-point play. He's going to go to the free throw line, but a 3-point play was exactly what Australia needed right there. Brett Wheeler goes out. Ricky Grace steps to the line, and Brett Wheeler's come in and played 3 or 4 very good minutes for Australia. Blahoff has had that rest on the bench. Mckay, has had that rest on the bench, and he's come out to provide some outside firepower for Australia. It means Australia changes up the game a little, but gives them some quickness up and down the floor. Ricky Grace makes 1. 90 plays 84. And there's the time remaining, so we've got quite a good finish coming up here potentially.
The crowd coming alive. We've got a game on our hands. The All-Stars know it. John Long, it's short. And the Boomers come up with the rebound again. Here's Grace, will go again. Magic can't stop him. 2 more. Well, what a game Ricky Grace is having. He's come alive here in the final quarter. 13 points, and Magic has seen enough.
After that drive from Ricky Grace, it's a 4-point game. Yes, well, there's nothing wrong that the All-Stars are doing. They just haven't hit the shots because they've spotted up 3 times in a row outside the 3-point circle. We've seen Jim Farmer take a shot. We've seen Mark Aguirre take a shot. And the last time down the floor, I think it was Leslie Connor, couldn't make the shot. Doing the same sort of things they've been doing all game, but just not making it. They'll have to try and push the ball down the floor much more quickly. That's where they've really hurt Australia. But Australia coming back this time with Ricky Grace, and Magic pulled out of that one. He wasn't going to try and make the foul.
Well, the Boomers are right back in this. They trailed by 9 at 3-quarter time. They've closed to within 4. 5:31 remaining, and Barry Barnes tells his team, let's keep it rolling.
The thing he's got to do is stop the other team rolling. They get a roll on against him. He knows he's in trouble. But the difference in the last 3 or 4 minutes is the fact that the Magic Johnson All-Stars haven't been able to push the ball down the floor quickly because they've been bringing the ball in from the end line. Australia have made a couple of straight baskets. Brett Wheeler came in and played some good minutes for Australia, and Barry Barnes gambling with the 2 postmen in there. But now he's brought back Mckay, and they will go to Mckay and look for him to shoot the ball from outside.
And full credit to Barry Barnes. He has coached this side very, very well this evening, has tried a lot of different things, and it is starting to pay dividends here in the final term.
One of the differences in stopping the transitions, the fact he's got the 2 quick guards in there playing together in Grace and Maher, and Australia will get the ball back again. Referee Billy Mildenhall said that one came off the foot of Connor.
This is Maher. Has Mckay to his left. Will he shoot it? Not just yet. They go to Dodge. Mckay again. Looking inside, here's Ricky Grace, has the hot hand at the moment, inside to Vlahoff.
See if Vlahoff can take on John Long. That was a match-up they'd like, and Vlahoff did take advantage of it that time.
2 points in it. Magic is feeling the pressure. Will he take them on again? He's going to the hoop again. Oh, Dawes swats it away.
Magic reckon he got fouled before that, but it was a good result for Australia. They can tie the ball game up here or lead with a three.
The slam. He'll take the 2. 4:32 remaining, final quarter, scores are level. What a block, John Dawes.
And there was nothing wrong with that play at all. Nothing wrong referee-wise, but we've got a blocking foul as we come back here. And Magic goes for the stripe this time, so he got the result that he wanted. Not from the stripe, though. The referee says, we'll take this ball from the side. Referee said he wasn't in the shooting motion. So John Long to inbound the ball. The score's locked together at 90 apiece. So this is the lineup that is working well for Australia. Maher and Grace in the backcourt. Mike Mckay, Andrew Vlahoff and Long John Dawes doing a great job in the middle. Dawes, as well as doing a great job defensively and rebound-wise, he's grabbed 8 rebounds, but he's picked up 16 points.
Here's Aguirre for 3. This time he hits.
Well, is Aguirre going to start doing it right at the finish? Hasn't been able to connect all night. He's going to pour on the heat at the end. A player with his ability, you can't keep quiet all night.
12 points to Aguirre. He is 2 from 7 from outside three-point range. Mckay has it. He might shoot a 3. Maher's got the rebound. It won't go. Dawes taps in.
Well, the little man, Brett Maher, wouldn't have expected to get an offensive rebound in a game like this. Got the shot up there and presented it for John Dawes. Dawes did the finish. Aguirre again. 2 in a row. Starting to get the feel.
He was boxing early on. He's hit 2 3-pointers in a row. The All-Stars are out by 4, 3:23 remaining, final quarter. The Boomers need to score. Vlahoff, will he take the responsibility himself? Magic strips him of the ball.
Well, Andrew Vlahoff was trying to take on a double team. By the time he got to Magic, it was a triple. He presented it. There had to be someone else open outside. They needed a dump off right there.
All-important trip down the floor here for the All-Stars. The Boomers need to stay tight. Aguirre fakes the shot, goes for 3 still. It comes up short. Magic has the rebound and is fouled.
But that is only the 3rd team foul against the Aussies in this quarter, so they won't go to the line yet. There are 5 team fouls against Magic Johnson's All-Stars. So Australia in pretty good shape on that stat.
Vlahoff now has 5, but we are just 2.5 minutes from full time here. The Boomers down by 4. Magic out to Lester Connor. Here's Aguirre in that dangerous spot again. No score, but is fouled.
Let's see if the referee points to the stripe. Yes, he is going to go to the free throw line. So Mark Aguirre, fortunately for Australia, is their worst free throw shooter. He's had a terrible time at the line tonight. In fact, he's shot 3 of 9. But maybe he's starting to get the feel. We've seen him make it from outside the three-point line. It's hard to believe that someone who shoots from so well outside the circle can shoot so badly off the free throw line. But the touch that he's gained at the circle, it's starting to work for him.
18,000 plus points in the NBA. We weren't going to keep all night. And Mark Aguirre making a difference here with just 2.5 minutes in the 60 All-Star. This is a very important trip up the court for the Boomers.
Aguirre has scored the last 8 points. Very important points too. Ricky Grace didn't have a handle on that when he shot it. And Magic Johnson grabs his 15th rebound of the game.
Magic has been standing 32 points. 15 rebounds, 5 assists. Long is free for 2. It doesn't go. Davis comes up with a rebound. Grace to Maher. 2 minutes remaining. They trail by 6. And need to make something happen. Mark Davis. Magic in his face. He goes to Vlahoff. Mckay, the 3-point specialist. Grace Baseline drive, too close to the basket. They come up empty. Look out. Lester Connor has the ball, scores, and is fouled.
And again, dare I say it, the transition beating Australia. They've gone for the timeout button again, I think. Now, in fact, it's just a substitution they're making. Yes, it is timeout right now to Australia with 1:40 to go. And it's a question now whether they can dig into their resources and stop that transition basketball for the last 1:40. Of course, stopping in that is one thing. They've got to come back and make 4 straight baskets at the other. Tough call.
Lester Connor has 4 points for the evening. Led the charge in game 1, has handled himself very well so far here. And the Boomers have a lot to think about and not a lot of time to execute whatever plan they have.
Australia has 5 players in double figures. Blahoff with 12, Davis with 17, Grace 13, George 18 and Brett Maher 16. Great contribution from that 5, and there have been some other good ones as well. Chris Blakemore, who's been a little quiet scoring-wise tonight, hasn't had as many minutes on the floor. Patrick Reedy hasn't got it going. But this is the team in charge at the moment, led by the Magic Man with 32, matching the number on his singlet. John Long's got it going tonight with 15. Jim Farmer with 11. So they're going to be pretty contented with the way things are at the moment with 1:40 remaining and 8 points in front. I can't see them getting beaten from here.
Well, every time the Boomers have issued the challenge, the All-Stars have been up to it. In the final quarter, it's been Mark Aguirre. Could not find the basket for 3 quarters. When they need it, he has come good. And how is this for confidence? Magic will sit down and looks as though he is just limping slightly. His first rest for this evening.
And fairly confident about the free throw shooting too of Lester Connor not bothering to line up. So Australia with 1.5 to go. They need a quick hit right here. Preferably a 3. A quick hit, then come back and make a stop. But that hit's not coming too quickly. Brett Maher, no shot there for him. Trying to loosen up Davis underneath, taking time off the clock. That Blakemore bullocking away underneath, loses the ball. All they can do is foul Mark Aguirre. The foul's coming from Andrew Blahoff. Aguirre will take the walk to the other end to shoot a pair.
And Blahoff will walk with him and walk off the court. He is out of the game, Andrew Blahoff. Great performance. The skipper, 12 points this evening.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty happy about the first couple of games that he's played on this tournament. Done a very good job for Australia. Just the 12 points tonight. Grabbed 4 rebounds. Done a terrific job defensively. When you have to guard a player like Magic Johnson, it's enough. And then go and do all the other things that are required. But Mark Aguirre is the man who's lit up at the end of this game. No great problem there, missing off the free throw line. They are 9 points in front. But there's his stats, 17 points and 5 rebounds, and he's had a quiet night.
Makes the second. It's a 10-point ball game, 1:13 remaining. Here's Maher. Mckay, they need the 3-point shooters to light up. Grace won't be afraid to shoot it. Goes inside, and it is Marchell Henry who strips the ball away from the hands of Mark Davis. 1:03 remaining. The Boomers down by 10.
Well, they lost by 15 points last night. In this final minute, I reckon they'd want to make sure they'd believe that they can't win it from here, but they would want to try and stay inside that 15-point margin. In fact, try and keep it inside 10 if they can.
Here's Grace.
Edge a little closer.
Nice looking shot for 2. Ricky Grace.
Well, that puts them inside 10.
And we are inside the last minute. Lester Connor with the ball. As Marchell Henry free, goes to that man Mark Aguirre, put down 2 points.
What a move. That's a pro move there from Mark Aguirre with a little bit of a flair. Call it a finger roll if you like, but he just dumped that one up into the hoop.
Maher for 3, goes inside. Blakemore out to Mckay, 2-pointer. It's hits that.
2 straight baskets from the Australians. They've got this back to 8 for times against them.
Ricky Grace reaches in, tries to strip the ball from Lester Connor and comes up with the foul.
But with just those 22 seconds left, this has been a very good performance from the Australians. They made the adjustments, particularly in the first quarter, stopped that first quarter blowout that we saw last night, and have kept it close all the way since. Of course, they led all the way through the first quarter and led by 4 at quarter time. That was the last time they led. As the Magic Johnson All-Stars, they'll do enough now to win. But they will know that they've had a game on their hands, and we've said it before that Magic Johnson figured that the Australian trip would be the toughest they've faced so far. I reckon he's got a pretty fair indication that that is right now.
Mckay to Marr. The 36ers combined for 3 more. Brett Marr.
5-point game. Last play of the ball game. Blakemore makes the stop at half court, but it's going to put Marchell Henry at the free throw line. He had to make the foul, but the difference is, of course, now you gamble on the player on the free throw line missing 2 against the old 1-and-1 rule. Of course, if he missed the first one, you could take it back and perhaps make the score at the other end. Now you give him a second shot. And Marchell Henry's shown that he's a pretty fair player. So Henry makes the 2 off the stripe and stretches that lead to 7. Last touch of the ball here for the Boomers. With the clock counting down, can Marr make it 3 in a row? Not this time. But the end of a very, very entertaining basketball game. 7 points the difference, 106 to 99. But Magic there shaking the hands of Mark Davis and knows that he's really played a basketball game, John.
They went down by 15 in the first game. They've cut that to just 7 here in game 2. We can only hope it gets closer as the series continues.
Beaver, beaver! Feel the groove and let the rhythm flow. Get back! That's gold white!
That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable, man.
This program was brought to you.
Oh yeah, Magic Johnson. Yep. Magic Johnson and me. 2 of the